Now at 10, after 2 years of investigation, authorities in Missouri make multiple arrests in a 35-year-old cold case. Plus, the Miami Public Library in Oklahoma wants to encourage a new literacy. And the city of Neosho hosts an event for learning and loving.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
More than 3 decades worth of investigative police work finally pays off. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. 2 Southwest Missouri investigators spent the last 2 years working on a case that happened 35 years ago. This week, 3 men were arrested in connection with the 1989 crime. Chris Holland and Leslie Albrecht helped solve the death of Douglas County's Kellyanne Workman.
When you lose something so horrendous and you never have closure, you will always have a void. Our motto is, Chris and I's motto is, we bring answers and justice. Closure is a personal thing.
There was a person that came forward after almost 30 years of holding this inside, that came forward and finally told us the last piece we needed to slide it all together.
Workman disappeared while mowing the grounds of a cemetery in Dogwood when she was 25 years old. The body was later found in Christian County. Holland and Albrecht started working on the case 2 years ago when both worked at the Department of Health and Senior Services. Bobby Lee Banks, Leonard Banks, and Wiley Belt faced charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and forcible rape. Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us with the first look at weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a great Friday for us today. Temperatures fantastic again. All week long, we've had just a phenomenal temperature. 67 for a high. Look at our average high. It's 52, 15 degrees above. Kind of a chilly start at 37 degrees. Record on this date of 83 degrees. Now, it's been a little windy all day long into the evening hours. The winds are starting to diminish a little bit, and it's still going to be breezy over the weekend, but not quite as bad as what we did see today. Few little clouds kind of shooting through, but most of the Central Plains are looking pretty good as we go down the road into the weekend. Warming up, especially on Sunday. A little breezy, a really warm start to next week, and then a storm system moving in on Tuesday and Wednesday. Of course, we're going to have all those details coming up in just a little bit.
Thanks, Doug. Well, a New York jury rules tonight that Wayne LaPierre, the longtime former head of the National Rifle Association, needs to pay the powerful gun lobby more than $4.3 million. Errol Barnett has the latest.
Wayne, how do you feel?
After a week of deliberation, a New York jury tonight found Wayne LaPierre liable of fraudulently spending NRA donor funds. He's been ordered to pay back more than $4.3 million. But the New York Attorney General's office had claimed LaPierre improperly spent even more money, including millions of dollars on private jets, hundreds of thousands of dollars for trips to the Bahamas, and excessive amounts to one vendor in exchange for international trips and personal use of a luxury yacht.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
It is yet another victory for New York Attorney General Letitia James, who's been investigating the NRA's spending practices for 4 years. LaPierre's decades-long influence and strategic alliance with Republicans prevented the still-debated ban on assault weapons, despite the ongoing plague of mass shootings and gun violence across America. Now, LaPierre has denied the state's allegations. 2 other NRA executives were found liable of violating their statutory obligations. They deny culpability as well. But the NRA's membership and its revenue have been in steep decline in recent years. Still, it remains a powerful political and cultural force across the country. Errol Barnett, CBS News, New York.
The Miami Public Library is promoting a different kind of literacy this week. Financial literacy. The library hosted a financial literacy week for the first time. And throughout the week, area experts on budgeting, financial planning, and mortgages were presenting at the library. The public is invited to come and learn and ask the experts any questions they might have.
I did learn some new things about financial planning and mortgages, and I hope to learn more about budgeting as well, which we touched on in our Arvis mortgage seminar. So yeah, I feel very confident that finances aren't so scary.
The Miami Public Library says they plan to continue holding the financial literacy weeks every year, and you can find links to resources provided in the programming on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Pittsburgh residents had a chance to get to know local businesses. The Chamber of Commerce today kicked off the annual Pittsburgh Business Expo. Companies have booths set up at the Meadowbrook Mall based on the theme Champions Hall, and officials say it's a chance for residents to learn about the people behind the businesses in their community.
We're just able to meet our local businesses, see the type of people that are running businesses in their community. I know our businesses worked really hard to set up today, and they work hard all throughout the year to provide for the community. So I just hope that they can meet each other and network and just learn different services that are right in their backyard.
The expo continues tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The Joplin Young Professionals Network donated a check to Jasper County CASA today. The group raised the money at the inaugural YP Summit earlier this month. Jasper County CASA of court-appointed special advocates works to advocate for children in Jasper County who have experienced abuse or neglect. The network raised $600 to benefit the nonprofit. The city of Neosho hosted the Show Love Conference today. The event focused on professional development and networking with women of all ages, professions, and demographics. In addition to the business side of the event, the conference also featured a healthy dose of encouragement and inspiration for all of the ladies in attendance.
We hope that our attendees feel loved at the event of Show Love. That's kind of been our theme. We hope that they realize that they can dream big, that it doesn't make them selfish to want to dream big for themselves and to dream big for their lives. And we really just hope that they leave feeling inspired to keep going on the journey that they're going, or maybe change that journey as well.
Event organizers invited attendees to continue networking at happy hour in downtown Neosho afterwards. Well, later in sports, some area high school basketball teams try to punch their ticket to a championship game. John has highlights from the night's biggest matchups. But first, the Kansas Aviation Museum looks to provide a higher education when it comes to black pilots in the Sunflower State. Black aviators had a big impact on the Kansas community that many people may not know about. Jolila Daughtry takes us inside the Kansas Aviation Museum to learn more.
Black pilots have always had a significant influence on aviation, especially here in Wichita, Kansas, the air capital of the world.
Collectively, we know the Tuskegee Airmen. We don't know a lot of individual stories. Colonel Boyd was a Tuskegee Airman. And then in his time in Kansas, he served in various positions across the state in the aviation world with the Department of Transportation. Civil Air Patrol was another area that he was heavily involved in.
Colonel Boyd is just one of the many pilots honored in the Rip Gooch Black Aviators exhibit at the Kansas Aviation Museum. This exhibit named after former Kansas State Senator who loved to fly.
In a field for a person he works for, and an airplane landed in this field. The pilot had some type of emergency type of experience, and he had to land in the field, and he got out, and it was a black man. And he said he never forgot that day. It was the first time he saw that black person flying an airplane and even realized that black people could fly an airplane. And he said ever since then he was hooked on wanting to fly.
Rip's grandson, Kerry Gooch, says aviation has always been a part of his family's history.
My grandfather was a pilot, obviously. My dad was a pilot. In my family, you know, you have to get your pilot's license before you get your driver's license. So literally I've been flying airplanes by myself longer than I've been driving a car by myself.
Senator Gooch died in 2021 at the age of 98. His love of flying lives on through Kerry, who remembers his last flight with his grandfather.
Coming back from Atlanta, we actually had to basically fly all the way south down through Oklahoma because we were flying the same direction that President Joe Biden was flying. And so we ended up getting clearance to kind of fly next to Air Force One as we were flying back from Atlanta, which was I just thought was really, really cool. So again, that was my last airplane flight with my grandfather, and again, one that'll just kind of stick in my mind forever.
Forever, just like the life and legacy of Senator Gooch and other black aviators who played a pivotal role in the Kansas aviation history.
Across from the aviation exhibit is tower access. Just a few small steps, and you're here in the top of the tower to watch planes land, take off, as well as planes who are stationed here strictly for the museum.
I'm always trying to get everybody in an airplane. It's my first thing is I usually talk to somebody about is, hey, do you interested in going flying? You know, I again grew up in aviation, grew up flying, so for me it's always been a normal thing, but the thing that I enjoy the most about being able to fly is being able to expose other people to that opportunity.
The Kansas Aviation Museum says its goal is to inspire, preserve, educate, and commemorate Kansas aviation for the future. Well, the Joplin Museum announces the opening of a brand new exhibit entitled Uplifting Joplin. The exhibit, presented by the Black History of the Ozarks Preservation Society, will showcase the legacy and impact of the Black community in Joplin. If you have stories, memories, or artifacts related to Joplin's Black history, you can contribute to the narrative of this exhibit. Check out our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, for more information. USD 250 Foundation tonight raised money for scholarships for graduating seniors as well as teacher grants. They hosted the 3rd annual Night of Dragons at Crestwood Country Club. Money raised from the event supports scholarships for more than 60 students and more than $18,000 in grants for teacher projects.
I'm very passionate about students and certainly about teachers and what that means to not only our current students but to our future workforce. As they progress into post-secondary education, it's very expensive, and so with our community coming together and the help of our foundations and our many donors, we're able to provide assistance so that those students can go on and be successful.
The event included food, drink, and an auction with numerous prizes donated by local individuals and businesses. The sounds of singing filled the Carthage High School today. More than 20 area schools visited for a choir competition called Carthage Sound Fest. The all-girls group, choir group Sweet Sounds practiced this afternoon before performing tonight. Some performers embraced the pressure of the competition.
It's really cool to be a main soloist because, you obviously have more people like watching you and critiquing you, but it's also fun because you get to perform and you have to, obviously you have to try your best all the time, but especially as a soloist, like you really have to try all the time because you want your solo to be good and you want the audience to enjoy it.
Tomorrow's performance will run all day from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Well, Doug is next, and a little later, Fridays aren't just for basketball. John has details from some area diamond action coming up in sports.
Ashley, this is...
Well, of course, it turned out to be a great week, and again today, fantastic temperatures outside, really phenomenal, just like we have seen all week long, and it looks like this is going to continue as we head into the weekend. It's still wintertime, but the allergies starting to sneak up on us just a little bit. So if we look at the main allergy, it's juniper right now. So on a scale of 1 to 12, that's how we do allergies. It's a 5.8. Out of 12 today, 5.3 tomorrow. This is kind of low to moderate allergies, but still, if you're a bad sufferer, you're going to have some effects. All right, northwesterly wind kicking in. These winds are diminishing a bit, so they're not going to be too bad tonight. Into the weekend, they are going to crank up a little bit by Saturday evening. Most of tomorrow looks okay. Look how the winds switch out of the south. That's going to help us warm up through the weekend. They increase tomorrow night. Here's 2 a.m. on Sunday. Decrease throughout the day on Sunday, but it is going to be a little bit on the breezy side. All right, some clouds kind of skirting through. Not a big deal. Most of the Central Plains is looking pretty good, but look at this. From here all the way out to the West Coast, a whole bunch of nothing going on. That's our weather as we go through the next few days. Now, here's our next storm system, which will start to affect us by late Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. All right, let's look at your weekend tonight. Slide back, upper 30s, so a cool start. Winds switching out of the south tomorrow. We warm mid to upper 50s by noon. Maybe a smidge cooler tomorrow compared to today, but still nice. 60 in Nevada, Anderson 63, 68 Veneta, 66 in Parsons. Tomorrow night, we drop back, not near as much, upper 40s to near 50. As we go through the daytime hours on Sunday, fantastic day. Look at our temps. Low to mid 70s across the region. It even gets warmer as we get into next week. 63 on Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Great Saturday, little breezy tomorrow night, and then warming up as we head into Sunday. So let's look at that next storm system. We'll start with Monday. Look at our temps, mid 70s, windy, some clouds. As we go into Tuesday, we're going to push 80 for a high. However, there's a very strong cold front. Rolls in Tuesday night, we could get some thunderstorms ahead of it. We may get a little bit of snow trying to mix in as it passes by, but majority of the moisture is going to be east of us. But I am going to put a hot spot from really Joplin to St. Louis southeast. So in this yellow blob, chances for thunderstorms and maybe some strong to severe. But again, majority of it will be southeast of the region. 63 tomorrow, 72 on Sunday, 77 on Monday, near 80 by Tuesday. Thunderstorms rolling in late Tuesday night. Leftover showers on Wednesday, significantly colder. High temp of 46, but short-lived back into the 60s next weekend.
Enjoy this weekend. That's all I have to say. Still ahead, Missouri Southern and Pitt State baseball begin conference play. And Diamond Girls basketball plays for a district championship. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
It's district championship night for Missouri girls basketball in classes 1 through 3. Now 4 of our schools play in title games. We begin the night at Lamar with Diamond. Neutral court game at Lamar High School as the Diamond Lady Cats square off with the Clever Lady Jays. First quarter, Bailey McClanahan sinks a three-point jump shot for the Blue Jays. They get out to a hot start, but Diamond would settle in. Grace Frazier creates separation, uses the left for the layup. Later in the half, juggling act here. Ball's loose, but Caitlin Surrey throws a pass from her knees, and Lauren Turner knocks down the triple. Diamond trailed by 11 at halftime, though. Into the second half, things turn around. Cabri Parmley nails the triple that ties the game. Few possessions later, Surrey gets it off the glass and in, and Diamond has its first lead of the night. Under 2 minutes to play now. All tied up at 45. Ireland Jones with a clutch layup. That gives Clever a 2-point lead. Diamond tries to answer. Frazier just misses. It rims in and out on the 3. Wildcats would have to foul. And Clever holds on to win a close one over Diamond. Blue Jays beat the Wildcats 53-47. About a 20-minute drive away, Liberal girls basketball hosts a district championship on its home floor. Liberal girls basketball at home for the Class 1 District 6 championship, battling Hume, who has only lost twice this year. Bulldogs start red hot. Taylor Swarns from the corner. She buries the 3. We'd hear a lot more from her. Still in the first half. Now with the defense. Swarns with the rejection. Ball's loose. Abby Barton corrals it. Keep an eye on her. She's going to go coast to coast and finish with the righty layup. Liberal dominates the first half. It leads 23-7 at halftime. Hornets not going to go away, though. In the fourth, Kenzie Snyder hits the jumper. That cuts the lead down to just 7 with 4 minutes to play. But the Bulldogs respond like champions. Swarns again from 3. Bang! She finishes with a game-high 17 points. Next possession, Bailey Couch fires from deep. That's good as well. Liberal hangs on down the stretch. Final score, 47-37. The Bulldogs are district champions.
Our defense in the first half, I told the girls, the other day we were talking about it, nobody's seen our, they haven't seen our defense. And the way these guys can get out and just man somebody up and just help and everything on man is phenomenal. They had that mindset coming in like, we're going to do this.
Now here's another district champ from our area, El Dorado Springs girls basketball. You might remember they lost in the state title game by just 2 points a year ago. Well, they begin the playoffs with a big win tonight, 70-39 over Stockton. They will face Pembroke Hill in the sectionals on Monday. Class 1 District 3 title game, another one of our local schools is a winner. Thomas Jefferson beats School of the Ozarks 44-38. The Cavs will advance to sectionals as well. On Monday, they're going to face Walnut Grove. Now wrapping things up with college baseball. The Gorillas get a hard-fought win in their MIAA opener. 8-6, they take it on the road over Washburn. Brody Dagan and Dylan Kurahashi Choi Fu each hit home runs. Now, game 2 of the series is tomorrow. Meanwhile, 14th ranked Missouri Southern baseball opens MIAA play with a 14-10 victory over Fort Hays State. The Lions hit 6 home runs in this game. Will Doherty accounts for 2 of them. Tragan Parker and Nate Miskowski also have 3 hits on the day in addition to Doherty. Back to high school basketball, though, in Missouri. That's 3 out of 4. Not bad for our local teams, and they're still alive for the sectionals coming up.
Watching the girls and the excitement at the end of the Liberal game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a packed environment in there, very loud. And again, that's the team they beat who had only lost twice on the season. Holding them to 7 points in the first half and hanging on down the stretch is a big accomplishment.
Yeah, that's a big deal. All right, well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
All right, tonight's going to be chilly. We drop back upper 30s for overnight lows, but 63 tomorrow, 72 on Sunday. Look at Monday, 77. It's going to be windy and then pushing 80 by Tuesday, which is crazy. Now some evening thunderstorms, strong cold front turning much colder by the middle of next week.
All right. Well, if you're on a low-carb diet, give yourself a cheat day because tomorrow, not today, tomorrow is National Tortilla Chip Day. There are plenty of ways to celebrate because there are as many ways to eat tortilla chips as there are fans of the crunchy triangular treat. Dip them in cheese, top them with chili, add them to a soup or casserole. The list is endless. I like mine in not loaded nachos.
Yeah, is the list really endless? I feel like there are only a couple of ways you can eat it.
You could get creative.
Yeah, I guess.
Final sports note?
Yeah, the Thunder win big on our Thunder Friday night tonight. They win by 41 at home over the Wizards. They have won 6 in a row at home. They're only a half game out of first place.
Of course, that was on our sister station.
Yes, CW.
CW,
yes.
That's right. Well, thanks for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.
By auto injury